Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's Joku. Thank you to everybody that watched that video the other day that I put out about our defense. Still a pretty small channel, so I don't really have videos blow up that often. But that video really took off, and it was cool as shit to see. So everybody that liked it and everybody that commented and subscribed because of it, I seriously appreciate that. So thank you very much. That video ended up getting probably close to 100 comments on it. There was a lot of talk about Patrick Queen. A lot of you guys agreed with me. A lot of you guys would still rather see Murray come in and take that linebacker spot. I started thinking about it. In my honest opinion, I really think that Murray is the better linebacker right now. But I really think that Queen, for the situation and the position that we need him for, would actually stand out more than Murray would coming in onto this team. So I'm still going to stick with Queen. The other one was... the other one was C.J. Henderson. A lot of you guys said that C.J. Henderson was not the fit. That he was more of a press corner, and that we were going to go out there and get that dude from Clemson, who was pretty much just another little Mullins out there. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. But we might not end up getting a linebacker at 19 anymore. There's been a lot of talk about trading that pick back, try to get a little bit more draft capital. So I'm curious to see how that goes down. The draft is going to be crazy, and I cannot wait for that day to come. So I'm super excited about that. And then the other thing that I heard a lot about was we're not going to get a linebacker at all. That Gunther really loves to run that nickel defense, and we're just going to keep with that rotation at the safety position to keep those guys on the field and keep fresh legs out there. I really think that would be pretty cool to see. But at the same time, I do want to ask you this question. Gunther is known for running his 4-3 defense out there. Do you think we were running nickel so much because we just didn't have the manpower to put out a 3 linebacker set out there? Because, I mean, our linebackers were trash last season. They were straight up trash. It is what it is. They had a few flashes there. Compton ended up having one good game. But, I mean, overall, that whole linebacking crew sucked. So I really think if we had 3 solid linebackers, you would see more 3 linebacker sets, and we'd get away from that nickel. But we played pretty good out of that nickel. But Joyner seriously let everybody down on a weekly basis. So he's a big X factor out there. I know Nixon can play that spot. I think maybe you'll see a bigger role from him if we end up sticking with that nickel position. And I'd take that. I'd take that all day. But I'll tell you, Joyner eating up $9 million. Oh, Grindy, what's happening, dude? What's going on? Yeah, so, I mean, I want to get away from that nickel. I think we'd have a better defense if we got into a true 4-3. But I don't know if it'll happen. It's going to come down to our personnel. It's going to come down to who we draft. And free agency is pretty much over. We're going to end up doing the draft. And then those dudes that are still out there are going to be fighting for a job to see what ends up happening. So, I mean, you pull for all those dudes. You really hope for the best for them. But throughout those videos, when I was going through the comments, a lot of you guys were like, you're focused too much on the defense. We got to get back to the offense now. We need a lot of positions filled over there. On our offensive side, I really don't think we have too many positions to fill. We need that number 1 receiver. We need to have a spell back for Jacobs. But other than that, I think our offense is pretty damn set. Grimy, this draft is deep. C.J. Henderson isn't the only QB in the draft. That's what a lot of people were saying. And I mean, I agree with it. Renee, what's up, man? Mayak said there's a deep linebacker class. Probably not going to get one on the high picks with a linebacker. C.J. Henderson can't tackle. Well, C.J. might not be the dude. He stood out to me, but, I mean, after reading through your guys' comments and hearing what you guys were saying, he honestly might not be the answer. And if that dude out of Clemson really is like a little Mullen out there, then we really could have one on each side. And I've said that before. If I could have a Mullins on each side, I'd be happy as shit about it. So that is what it is. I would love to see that out there. But the whole reason that I was focused so much on the defense out there is we play some powerhouse offenses next season. Like, we truly do. There's some teams that are going to jump out there that have made some major roster changes that are going to end up making a pretty big impact out of the league. So I wanted to just run through it. I know none of these games are set as far as when we're going to play them, so a lot of that makes a big difference. If we go on another fucking 7-game opening away streak, there's no telling what's going to happen with the season. But I don't see that shit happening. I see a lot of games happening in Vegas. So let's just jump into it real quick. The Broncos, I'm pretty sure we're going to sweep the Broncos. I really like Drew Lock. I truly do, as much as I hate to say it. He's just a young kid who looks like he's still out there having fun. But I think the Broncos are still rebuilding. I think it's going to be a long season for them, but I think they're going to show some flashes that they're really going to be able to take that next step probably within the next year or two. But as far as this upcoming season, I'm seriously not too worried about them. So I think that should be two, not easy wins, but two definite wins for us. Javaris Davis from Auburn, dude, check him out. He's small, but rips the ball out on contact. I'll have to check him out. I have not seen him at all yet. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, so the Broncos, I think we're going to go ahead and get through pretty damn quick. The Chargers are going to come down to whoever they end up landing at that quarterback position, whether it be Cam or some other name out there. There's a shit ton of names, or if they go out and get somebody in the draft. But the defense that they've built on that team is freaking insane right now. And I'm not going to lie to you, it kind of scares the shit out of me. But I see us splitting with them this year, depending on who the quarterback is. If they don't get a quarterback or they end up going after one of these rookies and starting them, we'll probably sweep the Chargers too. But if they go out there and get Cam or the Red Rifleman, they might have a decent shot at putting together a decent team out there. So I'm curious to see about that one. And then we'll move on to the Chiefs. I freaking hate to say it. Until Derek Carr can show me that he can beat the Chiefs on a regular basis, I'm calling that they sweep us this season. The team honestly hasn't changed too much. They still have Mahomes. Our defense has gotten a hell of a lot better. We're going to need some true firepower if we're going to hang with the Chiefs. That's going to be what it is out there. But they have our number right now. It sucks to say, so I'm calling that as 2 losses for us. And then we draw the NFC South. They got some damn good quarterbacks in the NFC South now. I was actually happy as shit when we drew the NFC South because that means I get to go to one of these games. I'm happy as shit about it. We better win it. And the last time I went to it, the Raider-Falcons game, the nation was representing, and it was huge. I had such a blast at that game. So come hell or high water, as long as I'm legally allowed to be at that game, I will definitely be there depending on what this stupid-ass virus does. So stay inside so I can go to this fucking football game because I need that shit in my life. But we got the Saints. I mean, Drew Brees is still doing his thing. Still have a damn good running game. They got Michael Thomas out there. They got Kamara. It's going to be tough, dude. But we beat the Saints before. I think we can beat the Saints again. The Colts have no idea how shitty their lives are about to become, bringing in the best quarterback in the league out there. Man, I fucking hate that dude. So the Colts are screwed. That's going to be a definite beating. I hope we actually destroy the Colts and end up hurting his ass. So it is what it is. The Bucs got Brady. The Bucs getting Brady is going to be tough, man. But I think the Bucs are going to end up making a pretty big impact out there. That's going to be a tough-ass game. Brady's had our number in the past, so I could see him with a high-power offense wiping through us out there. And then the Dolphins are going to be young. They're going to suck. They're probably going to end up... we're going to beat them. Well, Bills are a sneaky-ass good team. I don't know. I put us pretty much right around the 10-6, 11-5 point. I really don't want to break down all these teams out there. But let me know what you guys think about that. I just know that we have to keep jacking this defense through this draft out there. We have to. And our offense, we got to get those key pieces. Renee, do you think Rico Gafford has a chance at making the roster over Doss? Yes, I do. But I don't know if either one of those dudes are going to end up being on this team. I think Rico is going to end up having a shot at being our return man. And if he can end up landing that job, I think he'll have a pretty successful or a pretty easy time staying on this team. I don't know about Doss. There's a lot of people out there talking. And I'm going to give Oregon credit for this because this goes back to Oregon. He was the first person to say that we were going to double dip at wide receiver in this draft. And that shit has kind of taken off now. There's a ton of people talking about it. I actually did a video about it after he commented on it months ago. And we were just joking around about it, just kind of bullshitting back and forth. And I was like, I'm going to make a video about this. And then everybody was like, fuck no, there's no chance that happens. It's such bullshit. And now you hear about that shit all the time. And I'll tell you right now, if we can go out there and get Lamb at 12, and then trade back 19 and end up landing Mims, and then we have something in the second to where we can go out there and pick up shit. At that point, I'd say go out there and pick up Queen. Dude, that'd be fucking crazy. We'd be looking so damn good out there. So it's another hot, definite possibility out there. So I'm curious to see. But if we bring in more than one wide receiver, which I'm pretty sure we're going to, I think Rico and Doss might end up seeing the end of the road there. I think Aguilar is going to do a hell of a lot better than people are expecting him to do. I know he caught a lot of shit coming onto this team, and everybody said that it's drop city out there with him. He's back in a West Coast offense. I really think that dude has a shot. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and be great, but I think he has a shot to go out there and make a pretty decent impact on this team, especially playing in a system that he's more familiar with. But I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. This wide receiver room is going to change almost as much as our linebacking room did. I do not see a lot of those guys staying. The only two that I truly would say are going to stick on this team, it's going to be Williams, it's going to be Renfro, and then everybody else, and Aguilar, and then everybody else is pretty much up in the air at this point, because the back end of our receiving core, I mean, let's face it, dude, it's not fucking brilliant out there. You got Dosh, you got Rico. I mean, shit, there's one other dude whose name just totally slipped my mind, which pisses me off, but he's not going to make it either. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to make it. If those dudes had a shot, they would have already been there, and they would have already made their impact, and they just haven't. They've been given a decent opportunity. Oh, Darnell, what's happening, man? No worries. We're just kind of breaking it down tonight, looking at our schedule coming up for next season, trying to see what it's going to be. And I really think we got a pretty decent shot at it. I think we have to get that running back. I don't care if we get him out of free agency after the draft or if we go out there and get that dude like A.J. Dillon. We have to get a spell back. We have to. And then, honestly, we pretty much need 2 wide receivers in this draft. And if you get one good one up front at 12, like one of the best at 12, then you can. You can wait until, honestly, probably, especially if we're trading back and getting extra picks, you can get somebody in the late third that could end up making a huge impact on this team and end up probably slipping into that 4 spot. So there's going to be a lot of changes coming still. So I really can't break it down too much just because I know this whole damn thing's about to flip with the draft. There's been a lot of talk. I had a dude swear to me, been a Raiders fan for 40 years, swore to me that on draft day we were going to trade Derek Carr and that it was coming. I don't see it coming. He said Mariota's going to be the future. That's the reason we went out there, gave him the incentive-based contract. Gruden and Mayock already have it all worked out. I mean, and Carr has been extremely quiet. He's not welcoming these dudes onto the team like he always does on Twitter. He's just not doing that shit right now. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot going on inside that team, but a lot of it's just because the team's not together right now because of this stupid-ass virus, so nobody can really plan shit out and start working on a plan, start meeting up to have little throwing drills and stuff. Oh, is it me or do I always have the top 3 hard schedule? Dude, I'm telling you, man, we got a shit schedule this time. There's a few teams that I'm pretty sure we'll be able to just kind of roll through. I really think the Patriots are going to be shit next year, and I cannot wait to see that out there. I'm going to fucking love it. But yeah, I think we trade Carr next year. And honestly, like going in the next year, his contract will be up, so I really don't even know if we would. I mean, you'd still want to trade him at that point, but is it worth re-signing him to a big deal, then trading him back off? There's going to be a lot that goes into it. Andrew, what's happening, dude? I appreciate that. So yeah, man, it's going to be tough to see. It's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of dudes that you truly like on this team right now that I have a feeling are not going to be on this team for too much longer. So it's going to be a good thing. I know these guys are making the right decisions. I trust Gruden and Mayock way fucking more than I trust myself out there. But just be ready because the draft is going to change a lot of things. I'm super excited about it. But that's it. Just wanted to come out there. Just thank you guys for that video the other day. Thank you to all the new subs I got off that thing. That was crazy. So let me know what you guys think. Until next time, I'm Sunjoku. We will see you guys later. Thank you guys that came out in the live comments, man. You know I love that shit. We'll see you.